What advice would you give an emerging museum professional? You are now permanently in the field, but it was probably a long haul to get here.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give?
I think you'll hear this anywhere, but volunteer. Volunteer, get an internship, get anything you can do to get yourself into a museum is the best thing you can do. So, it gets you experience. It gets your hands dirty. It gets you doing that job, but it also provides a really strong network of people who can vouch for you. So going to workshops, meeting people kind of briefly one day here and there, you don't get that really strong network of people who can pass your name along or feel comfortable reaching out or that kind of stuff. So I think just get yourself in there. Just whatever you can do. There's a lot of museums, especially in Toronto, that welcome volunteers, that need volunteers. Lots of small museums. The ROM's kind of a fortress trying to get in here, but try, whatever you can do. So,
well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Those words of wisdom. Getting into museum work or paths they can follow, any sort of critical path.
That's a tricky one these days. There's a lot of people interested in museum work. Getting your foot in the door is the first thing. So whether that means volunteering with the curatorial department for a while, anything that will get you experience that proves that you're interested in museums and that you have a certain amount of dedication is a good start.
Okay.
And then the kind of course that you're taking will help give you a professional qualification. So, but it's an upward slog, I have to say.
Is there anything else you'd like to say to the students of MC 705?
If you're interested in entomology, there are technician positions, there are curator positions. It tends to be that curators do the original research, and my thought is they know a lot about a narrow subject. Technicians know a little about a lot of subjects. Somebody says, can you photograph this? Yes. Can you get this field equipment? Yes. Can you database this? Yes. So I'm not a specialist in one particular area. I'm more of a generalist in a large number of areas.
No wonder your work is so varied.
Oh yeah, and if you can't tell by now that I'm enthusiastic about what I do and what I love, then you haven't been paying attention.
Is there anything that you would like to say to the emerging museum professionals in MC 705? Words of wisdom now that you're in the field.
Well, I would say keep trying, because it's not the easiest field to get into, but it is the most, I think it's super rewarding and fun, and the people are great. And if you can get to an institution as diverse as this one, you have the ability to work with all kinds of interesting people who are from interesting backgrounds. And there's a lot of different jobs. There's just so many different roles that people have in museums that make the museum turn.
Do you have any tips for the emerging museum professional?
Yes. So I think what museums are doing, especially this part of the evolution of culture and the digital age, is we're in a renaissance or a risorgimento. Things are changing. It is so important to remain flexible, to take whatever opportunities come your way, be it workshops, opportunities to study or learn or to travel, because you're embellishing what you can offer in the future, because we're not quite sure what the future may hold. As we go more and more digital, are people going to enjoy those museums and cultural experiences on an iPhone, or are we going to try and create the museum as this cultural space in which everyone is welcome and it becomes a fluid part of your life? I want people to say on their lunch break, I must come down to the art gallery and take a walk around, because I need that, just as I need my kale, fish sandwich or whatever they're going to eat. That we really need to make this an integral part of how we operate as a society, because it's who we are and it's how we grow.
Excellent. That is a very wise observation. And your enthusiasm actually comes through clearly. So you love your job.
Yes, very much so. Yeah.
Well, that's excellent. Just one more question. What would you say the most used tool in your toolkit is?
I would say it is my addiction to reading about other developments in industries that may be considered crawlery or not even anything associated with art. The reason is our art conservation tends to adopt or take advantage of innovations in other industries, laser technology, the gelling agents, which we use now for food and makeup and medicine. All that stuff we're finding possible uses for it in the treatment of art and artifacts. So I'm really interested when they come out with a new 3-in-1 body wash, because what are those ingredients in there that are getting this dispersion to stay in solution and is able to be water rinsed? Can I use that or parts of those ingredients to modify it to clean a painting, right? So, I mean, that's where I think a lot of the growth of our industry is. And so long as I stay interested and active in learning, be a lifelong learner, you're going to continue to propel yourself through your career. And your career may change. You may start out in one part of the museum and then end up in the other part of the museum. So it's important to remain flexible and open to learning.
Excellent. Well, that is excellent advice.